Hi there, this is Dr.Leonor Murciano-Luna, and I wanted to take a few minutes to invite you all to the 13-week Feminine Soul Transformational Challenge that I will be launching later this month. And basically, I am launching this 13-week challenge for women that are interested in healing, for women that are interested in transforming, for women that are looking for a spiritual path that really speaks to them. This program is called the Feminine Path. It's really based on the last 30 years of my exploration and my own personal healing journey, transformational journey, and spiritual journey that I've been on. And through those last 30 years, I've actually been exploring different spiritual paths, not just professionally as a doctor and a spiritual mentor and teacher, but also personally through my own challenges that I've had physically, emotionally, with trauma, with a near-death experience when I was young, and really just the trauma of being in a feminine body, of being a woman. So I spent the last 30 years really exploring a lot of different paths, and I've incorporated that into my work. And one of the things that I noticed was that none of them really spoke to me as a woman, that most of these spiritual paths and healing paths, even though they carried a lot of wisdom and still do, they didn't include my experience as a woman feeling, my trauma and my fear. They didn't include or address the shame of being in a feminine body in this culture. They didn't address some of the trauma, some of the powerlessness of being a woman. And what I realized was that these things on my spiritual path of transformation, I couldn't really separate my personal experiences, because the path is really about feeling the divine, this divine dimension that we have within us that we are, but feeling it on the physical realm, right? We need to feel it in our bodies. And so the healing of our body is really important. The healing of how we feel about our body, what we've experienced as women, is very different than what men have experienced. And so the paths that were created by men for men, basically in the last 5,000 years, didn't really speak to me and didn't take me all the way. And so I really dedicated myself, and in the last 11 years, I could say that this whole path of this feminine path, my work now, my current work, which is conscious feminine medicine, is really a culmination of all of these wisdom, of the core of these wisdom teachings, but in a way that we can digest it, that we can receive it, that it can address women in a whole different aspect of their being. And it's really also focused on reclaiming the feminine within us, reclaiming those feminine qualities that both men and women have, but reclaiming those qualities that have been repressed, because we're all, as women, we're all experiencing the trauma of that. And that affects us physically, that affects us emotionally, that affects us mentally, of how we think about ourselves. It affects us how we have put ourselves last, for example, just to survive. And all of this type of conditioning has to be addressed in order for us to be able to feel our true self, to feel the love, to feel the joy and feel the peace. And not just feel it, but also realize that it's within us and how to access that. And in accessing that and moving through these practices, because it's not just about knowing it in the mind, it's about really accessing it in the body and embodying it, feeling it, living it, and coming into a place where we could feel safe in our bodies and really know and feel the wisdom in our hearts. This path, this feminine path, is really about coming into sovereignty with yourself. You are the guru. The wisdom is within you. The challenge is how to access that wisdom, how to move through the conditioning, what we've been so entrained, to survive, not just ourselves, but our ancestors. And, we're living that in this moment. We're living all of the conditioning, is passed on through the generations. And so we're really here to bring consciousness to that, to feel and to allow that to transform and to live from our souls, live from that light of our being, and live from the love, because essentially we're love. We are that love consciousness. And so what I'm doing at this moment is looking for a very small group of women that want to journey in this 13-week challenge. The program is set up where we're going to be not just, understanding the knowledge and what the feminine is, and walking through all of these steps, the sacred initiations, the superpowers, the feminine superpowers, the universal mothers, and really open up to a whole other world of the feminine and feminine spirituality. But also, we're going to be actually embodying that. We're going to be bringing it down into the body. We're going to be feeling it. We're going to be breathing it. We're going to be voicing it, because it's in the body that we can feel our love, our essence, who we are. So if this is resonating with you out there, just connect with me via Facebook, or you can email me through my website, Conscious Feminine Medicine. I'm also on the social media as Conscious Feminine Medicine and Dr.Leonor Murciano-Luna. And I would love to journey with you, and any questions that you may have. Thank you very much, and peace.